What's up, guys? This is K-LO, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we are cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news, rumors, and pretty much anything else out there. And who better to cook up this episode with me today than my sous chef, Aden? Why don't you say what's up?
Hello. How's it going, everybody? It's nice to see you. Have a wonderful psycho of a day, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to say something Borderlands related.
Well, I thought you were gonna go, what a wonderful day. Isn't that like Mad Max, but they're like in the same vein? At least I consider them, crazy people in the
Fun
desert.
fact for you, never seen Mad Max. So,
Wow, you
there you
might
go.
like that movie, but we'll save that for another day. What we're here today to talk about is what Borderlands 4 actually needs. Like, what quality of life improvements can we make here? And is there anything else we just want from this game? I want to pass this to you first, since you are the Borderlands expert here on the channel and on the website. Go check out all of his articles that he is cooking up every single week. Some great stuff. Really, I'm learning a lot about Borderlands, and it's all through Aden. So, Aden, what's your wish list here? What are some things that the game can improve on? I know the story, that's something we've talked about before, but overall, what are some improvements you're looking for?
Well, first of all, before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, thank you everyone for watching this. If you like what we do, please subscribe to us below. Follow us on social medias and stuff because that stuff's important, I guess. I don't know. I don't social media star very well. But as far as things go for what my wish list personally is, like I always say that it needs dedicated drops just because that kind of was the thing that went away in Borderlands 3 in a sense because they did so many world drops. What I just mean by it is that like they don't need to have everything be world drops and have more stuff delegated to bosses, like
Mm,
specific bosses too. Because like there are a lot of bosses in that game where you can defeat them and you'll get the same legendary from like um honestly, I can't remember the names of the bosses in that now, but you'll end up getting it from like one boss, you'll get a legendary, but you'll get the same one from another boss. And it's
yeah.
like a lot of people got annoyed by that. And then on top of that, it's not really a quality of life change, but it needs to have a better story. Absolutely needs to for me
Yeah.
because 3 was terrible with it. And then it's already been shown off. So like one item on my wish list is already come true basically, which is just better movement mechanics.
Yeah.
Like they already increased it in 3. I just want them to go beyond that, but it already seems like they are since they're doing like a glide, which we mentioned in our breakdown video of that trailer that actually mentioned in a Twitter post after that was a glide.
Look at that.
So there is gliding now. You also have double jumps. You have sliding still. The movement's going to be great.
Yeah. We were streaming Borderlands and Borderlands 2 here on the channel, and I forgot what playthrough it was. I know I said it out loud. How come that game doesn't have mantling? Like, where you can kind of hop over a box or something like that. I don't need, like, a Gears of War cover system. I just need something where I can, like, hop over a box or a little barrier or stuff like that that kind of makes movement more fluid. Um, I do
I mean,
agree.
it's a product of its time. It's from 2012. You have to remember this.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of stuck with that time. Even then, though, you got games like Battlefield and Call of Duty kind of doing those things. It's weird, but I also for movement, if there are vehicles, which we haven't seen any, to my
No, we've
knowledge,
seen 2.
we
We've
have.
seen 2 so far. Yeah. With one of them being a new one. Well, I guess we've seen 2. It's like a really small shot, I believe. But they should have the standard vehicles. Still like the standard vehicles from like 2 and 3 kind of deal. But then they showed off some chariot looking thing. It looked like a
Uh,
pod racer from
oh,
Star Wars. And like a lot of people were making a joke afterwards, and there was a meme where like it showed it going off into the distance, and then it showed Anakin going, "This is pod racing."
that's call me crazy, but I would like a motorcycle or something like that in that game. I feel like
That would be cool.
it would suit the game. It would suit the world. I don't know. Maybe that's just me asking for too much. But Borderlands 3 did nail vehicle like mechanics, vehicle movement, and again, if they could polish that up a little bit, customization there for vehicles, that would be pretty fun. I've always been this proponent of, I would like the ability to go in and like customize how the, like, grant you can do the paint and stuff like that, but I'm talking like body kits, I'm talking rims. Let's get Los Santos Customs in Borderlands. I would love it. That'd just be fun.
I mean,
Nice
they
little
kind of
touch.
did it with 3. They
Yeah.
kind of did it with 3 where they had unlockable items that you could do. So, like, getting more unlockables would be nice.
Yeah, that applies to guns too. Like, I would like to add little charms, or a paint job would be better.
They have guns in 3.
Do they? It's been a while since I played
Yeah.
3. I want to put that out there into the world. It's been a while. But speaking of things I carry with me, I've always said the inventory management for Borderlands is very archaic and clunky, and I don't know, I just feel like in 2025 there's a better way to do it. There has to be. So yeah, I would like better inventory management. I get the 2 screens, the pillars, it's very simplified, but movement through that whole thing is kind of, I don't know, it's choppy. Am I just nitpicking with that, or is that like a valid thing to talk about here?
See, a lot of people have mentioned that. Like, I've been looking online, a lot of people have mentioned specifically changing up the inventory system with, like, better inventory filtering, also better inventory storage system. And on top of that, people really want the ability to just, like, trade.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
not via just walking up to somebody and trade,
Throw it at
like,
them.
to be able to switch it between accounts. So, like, if you just want to, like, if your buddy's offline or something, just to go, send it to their inventory or send it to their in-game storage thing or whatever. Like, a lot of people want that stuff. So better inventory management is something that, like, a lot of people say they absolutely need. So, like, there were some people who mentioned that, like, they want, like, an auto proximity opener or whatever, like whenever you, like, get near a box. But I don't know, I find that to be too much hand holding at that point.
Yeah,
Like, you really need your hand held to the point where you're walking up to a box and everything's opening for you. I mean, come on, give me the joy of opening a box.
that's where it hits. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen in this moment. There might be an orange, there might be a purple, it might be all common weapons. So I get that. Now, is there another thing you want to change here as far as overall gameplay? Are we just looking, now that Borderlands 3, we've experienced that game, is there anything else, like, outside of gameplay that we're looking for?
I mean, not really, not outside of gameplay. I mean, there's a lot of gameplay stuff that people have focused on with, like, some people have stated specifically that they want better co-op. And you know what? I kind of agree with that with for the sake of Borderlands 3 for grinding, for instance. Like, if you want to grind out a weapon, you want to, like, sit there and farm over and over and over again, then you're going to have to do it for a long time, especially if you want a specific weapon with specific stats, like
Yeah.
most people do. And a lot of people, they want to have their friends join them for that. And so what people say by better co-op is they want to be able to, like, go back to the menu and still
Yeah.
be in a party,
Yep.
or be able to go farm on their own while still technically in a party with somebody, and
Okay.
not have to do the whole, like, oh, let's save and quit, come back in. And that goes for bosses too. They don't want to have to, like, save and quit, go back to the menu, come back in, then go fight the boss again. They want to just be able to leave the area, come back, boss is back, let's fight it. That way it makes
Yeah.
things a lot quicker.
Yeah, in a game like this, it's a looter shooter. You're gonna want to be able to just kind of keep going back and back and back. And suddenly, whenever you back out of the game entirely, you go back to the main menu. It's a lobby. Like, it's not like you can kind of just say, oh, you just go back and you're at the title screen. You're in an actual lobby. Like, you have to load into the game after that. I I agree. Maybe a thing here is you leave the area, like you get out of it and you come back. The boss is back. It's right there. Now, that also factors into this whole idea. I would like for the overworld in general, whenever you go back to it, can we get rid of this thing where it's like, so-and-so's in the menu, you can't fast travel? Halo 3, whenever I used to play that game, did this thing where you can veto like someone starting up matchmaking. Can we change it to that at least, to kind of do something like that, instead of like, oh, he's in a menu, you can't travel at all? Sometimes, like, you've probably experienced this where you're in a game with somebody and like they go off to do something real quick, they're away from their console and you need to travel, then you just need to wait there in silence until they come back to actually get back to the game. So something like that will cut down time, as far as like, I can go do my thing, you can kind of hang out, whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on there. Like, I think it would be nice to be able to travel without having to worry about someone being in their inventory or something. Like, okay, have it load up a new area, but then keep them in their inventory or something. I'm fine with it. But like you said, it's kind of annoying to have to walk up to something and be like, "Oh, you can't do it because this person's in their menu," and it's a whole annoyance. Now, like, big question for you though about whether or not you think it would actually be worth it, which is a dialogue skip
Ooh.
or like
Ooh.
cutscene skip too,
Oh.
because Borderlands 3 was it was bad at like launch with the whole like cutscene thing where you couldn't skip, and then you couldn't skip dialogue either. Like, you had to sit there and stand within proximity of somebody, or else like it wouldn't count for the dialogue. What What do you think of that? Because I think it's a necessity. I think you need to be able to like skip dialogue and everything, and like be able to just wander off.
I, I'm so torn about this because, one, I think Borderlands does like the best, and this goes back to the first entry. They do the best cinematic stuff. It's very fun to see this world play out, how animated people are. Am I crazy to say I don't want the ability to skip cutscenes through your first playthrough, but whenever you gotta go back to do a second run or whatever with a different character, then you have the ability to skip? I don't know.
Okay, maybe I should have clarified there because I'm totally with you on that with like the first playthrough being unskippable and everything. But really in subsequent playthroughs is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
If you're one of those people who plays through all four of the Vault Hunters,
Yeah.
like I did that in 3. In Borderlands 2, I have 6 characters. While I haven't played every character, I've replayed the game like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And come on, I need to be able to like just rush it, because
Yeah.
I don't want to have to sit there and watch everything over again. I already know your story. Just let me play the game and get through it.
Yeah, it's as simple as, again, you can leave it to a voting system where it's like, oh, everyone vote if you want to skip the cutscene, whatever. I agree.
Yeah.
After the first playthrough, definitely give me an option to skip, especially people, like you said, they're going to be playing this game over and over and over, and let's just say they do the thing with the bosses where you can kind of go back, they spawn back in. Whenever you fight a boss, you have to watch that cutscene again. You're not going to want to do that, so definitely skip. Let's move on. Have a good time. As far as the proximity dialogue thing, do you just set up an area to kind of be like, hey, you're trapped in this area while talking to this person? Like, you set up a shield around you or something like that? I don't know. It's so weird because, like, the comms thing works wherever it's like the character appears on the top right and it's like their profile picture or whatever, and you're talking through like a radio. That works.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't need to like deviate from that. That's very clean, very simple, very practical in that world. So
Exactly. That was one thing I hated about 3. It was like, especially in the beginning, where it was like, oh, well, Lilith is just talking, so you can't run off and like hear her in your comms or whatever. Or like you can't hear her in general. It's just you have to be next to her for her to continue her dialogue and for her to actually get you through to the next part. And I'm like, come on, I want to be able to run off.
Now I want to pose this question to you. Would you, because I'm looking at a game I've been playing a lot recently, is Starfield, and New Game Plus, having the ability to kind of go back and do more with the same character, re-level, do that stuff. Would you like a New Game Plus in Borderlands 4 to kind of give it more juice? Because, like, DLC, to my knowledge, I don't know much on that front for this game. It's going to be like a year or so away.
Yeah, I mean DLC is going to be a little while, but I mean I can't emphasize this enough that I want good DLC, and the reason why I say that is just solely because so Borderlands 3 had pretty decent DLC. Like I liked the casino one. I didn't care so much about the Wild West themed one. Like I thought it was interesting a little bit. Um, but there was some good moments in the DLC that I did enjoy, but for the most part, they were okay at best. They had nothing on Borderlands 2. And so really I think that they need to go back to Borderlands 2 style when it comes to DLC. Continue through like, oh hey, here are these really small DLCs that are like themed after like holidays or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the Headhunter DLCs, like loved those. Like give me bigger DLCs too. Like I don't care. Like I'll pay a little bit extra for good DLC, but I want something that is good, you know? And I don't know. They didn't offer that in Wonderlands. Like I don't know if you played Wonderlands or not, but like the DLC in Wonderlands was absolutely terrible. It was the worst DLC they've ever made, and it was boiled down, it was a dungeon that you ran through, defeated a boss at the end, and then you just that's the only thing that you did. You ran through a small dungeon that maybe took 5 minutes, and then it was like, oh, that's your whole thing is to just keep running through that. And it's so dumb.
And now, one final thing. I've been a fan of it. It kind of depends on the game, obviously. Would you like a third-person mode in Borderlands? Because, like, you want to see your Vault Hunter. You want to see the skins. You want to see the heads you put on. You don't get that enjoyment, and that's what I'm processing right now in live-action form here. Where in Borderlands, like, yeah, I got all these cool skins. I got the different heads. But I can't see them. Like, I would like to see my cosmetics. I'm very visual, in case you didn't know. But yeah, like maybe a third-person mode. All right, depending on the character. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well, real quick, I completely did not answer you on the last thing too. With one thing, I want them to redo the end game. I don't really want like a new game plus. I just want like something that's like Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, but I want something like better. I want them to just revamp it in some way. But like, I think that would just be ultimately what I'd want. Like, chance to maybe replay the story, but like do it in like an Ultimate Vault Hunter mode style and everything. But then with this, yes, I want a third person toggle. That's like one of my favorite things about Fallout in general is I like playing in third person. And I don't know. In Borderlands, it might be a different story just because it depends on how they make like action skills and all that. But I would like to see my character other than whenever I go into a menu.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that because we did stream Borderlands 2 and we did the Thanksgiving DLC, and that's where you got the turkey head. And I'm like, I would like to see that maybe when I play my game, although how long I use the mode for, whatever. But it'd be nice to just kind of have it there. If one day I'm like, yeah, third person, whatever, here we go. Like, that'd be fine. But do you have any final wish list things here for Borderlands 4?
No, I mean my biggest wish list things, like I said, like one of them is already in the works. It's already obvious with the movement mechanics. I'm debating on the story. I'm hoping it's more grounded and like dark story. Like I'm hoping it's more like 2 where it's like darker, but it has like those fun moments about it. Really hoping for that because like I don't want it to be another Borderlands 3 fiasco where they're like so focused on meme culture.
Yeah.
And just doing toilet humor. If they do that, that will bug the living hell out of me. But I mean, other than that, like as long as they do those things, like give us a little bit of like maybe skippable dialogue or something, I'd be fine.
One final thing, real quick, I want to ask you. You brought up Fallout, and one thing I love about Fallout is exploring the world, obviously, and then you can toggle your Pip-Boy to play a radio station. Depending on how big these lands are in Borderlands, would you like a Borderlands radio? It doesn't have to be complex, but like I enjoy some of the background music in these games. Could they add maybe something there to kind of, because let's be honest, there's some parts of this game where it's dead quiet and you're kind of just walking and hearing your character breathe heavy. I don't want that. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, I could definitely see a radio. I think that'd be fun.
Just to kill
I
the
mean,
noise.
especially especially because they have a lot of music that has been licensed to them. So like they could reuse the old licensed music. Like give me Cage the Elephant, give me the Heavy.
Yeah.
Come on, that'd be nice to listen to. I'd be down
Also,
for that.
just thinking about it, a boss in Borderlands that kind of is like a radio person, and like you hear of him through the radio. It's great storytelling. I don't know. But with all that being said, we're going to pass it off to you guys. What are some things you want to see in Borderlands 4 if it's not there already? If it hasn't been announced, let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to talk more about your favorite games or Borderlands 4, join our Discord. Links to that is all in the video description down below. But as of right now for this episode of Community Kitchen, I have been K-LO, joined by Aden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.